Hello, how are you doing? So I have come out to the garden today, intending to do a little bit of a tidy up. It's quite a nice day, the sun is out. There's a little bit of a lull in the middle of this kind of really stormy weather that we're having. We've had some super high winds. It's okay today, but it's supposed to get really windy again for the next few days. Today, the day I'm recording this is Saturday, and it's to get really stormy again until kind of Tuesday. And then I think we've had about 10 days of it, and then I think that's it to sort of finally calm down after that. If you were watching last week's video, I mentioned that I've got a big event coming up. My head is a bit all over the place getting things planned for that event. And so I thought today, the weather's nice, I'll come out and do a little bit of mindful tidying in the garden. Just try and calm my headspace down, calm my mind down. I love watching YouTube videos where it's kind of a before and after tidy up, whether it's in the house or in the garden or decluttering a space. I don't know, there's just something satisfying about watching somebody else do it, and then it kind of hopefully motivates you to sort of do it as well. So hopefully that's what you're going to get out of this one. If you've been watching my video last week and then also on Instagram, I was talking about the fact that it's Imbolc, so it's just past. 1st, 2nd of February is Imbolc, which is the ancient Celtic observance of the first stirrings of spring. It sits right in the middle between winter solstice back in December and spring equinox. So we're just beyond a quarter of the way now to summer solstice, which is a nice thing to think about. And yeah, so in my little bit of mindful tidying and cleaning up in the garden today, I'm definitely going to be looking for signs that spring is on the way. We've got a plant that overhangs our driveway out the front, and I jumped in the car yesterday and it caught my eye, and I thought, there's buds on that are just bursting to come out. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking for today, and I hope for a few hours it'll get my mind away from my huge to-do list in connection with this event. So I'm going to do a separate video on that. It's my husband Gavin's 60th birthday, so we're having a big event at the house this coming week, and I'll do that separately. But yeah, just hoping to get a little bit of mindfulness going on this afternoon and just calm my headspace. So let's have a look first of all at what's needing done in the garden, and then I'll get to it. So I'm taking a look down this end of the garden first. As you can see, the garden sofa has been blown right across the garden. It's quite lightweight and it won't take off and fly over the fence, but it does tend to get blown around a bit, and it's landed over here. And this plant was one of the ones, if you've been watching me for a while, I wrapped up these hoping to save them for this year, and the wind, it looks like, has just completely destroyed this and bent it over. I'll try and resurrect it, but honestly, not holding out much hope. Just a lot of debris lying around. These ferns I left from last year, so they just all need cut back. Isn't it funny how the different varieties, this one totally dead, this one's still got green on it, but I will just cut it right back now so that it's all just fresh growth for next year. So we've got some ferns needing cut back here. There's plant pots over. I'll get all those kind of tidied up. I think this has been sitting out since autumn, and it's now full of dirty water, rainwater, so I'll get that sorted. And yeah, just it's not looking too bad around here. That palm tree still needs to come out in the corner there. Got another fern here that needs cut back. Goodness, the wind has taken a pot over down here. I'm just noticing it. Oh goodness, so that's come over and that pot is completely smashed. So that'll be a replacement for this year. And then as we head up to this end of the garden, some ferns that need to be cut back here, some more up in this corner, and the grasses that I left in here. I'm just going to cut all these back now. I'll get these all cut back to ground level, and then that'll just make way for the fresh growth coming through. And then on the top here, there's some ferns that we could probably get some of those cut back as well. We're hopefully going to be doing a bit of a big project up here next year, putting in some new trees, getting rid of a lot of this kind of scrubby branches up here that were put in by the house builder when it was built. What is that, 27 years ago now? And they're just no longer fit for purpose. So that's a project hopefully for later this year. And then some ferns here, although they're still green, they're just completely collapsed, and these all just need to be trimmed completely back right to the ground, ready for this year's growth. So I unwrapped the cordyline just to see what was going on with it, and you can see it's completely rotted and spongy here. The lower leaves are just rotted away, and unfortunately that's sometimes what happens. However, so this one's a goner. This whole piece here just needs to be cut off, and it is done, unfortunately. And they are pretty expensive to replace. However, I have noticed that it has sprouted from down here. And this has happened with a couple of the ones that we've had in the past. This won't grow enough probably for this year, but maybe by next year. So what I'll probably do is just cut it off here, tuck the pot over in the corner, and over here, this was one that the same thing happened to, and this is sprouting. And I'm not quite sure if this is a bulb tucked in here that's been left from years ago, but I think it's cordyline. So I think we had one in here that did the same. It rotted, we cut it right back, the stump is in there somewhere, and I think it's sprouted again. So we'll probably just leave this one and hope that that really flourishes this year, and then we can swap that one with that one, and hopefully the little baby will grow for 2025. I will keep you posted. starting to look a bit better. Now, I'm not being super diligent about picking up all of the debris leaves because I know there's some pretty stormy weather still going to be coming through, and there's nothing more soul destroying than getting everything looking spick and span and then the wind whips through and it's all a mess again. So I'm just really trying to kind of do the best job that I can at the moment. We have a lot of moss that comes down off the roof and things, so I'm just trying to pick up as much of that as I go, and yeah, just try and keep on top of things heading towards spring. This has also caught my eye and filled me with great delight. So our Pam that we lost in the corner, I just noticed it's had a baby. Look at this. And that will grow. It will take a long time and a lot of years to become a Pam again. And I don't know, but at least we might get something going in this corner again. Yeah, so that's really exciting and definitely a sign of spring. Turn. I popped in to get some lunch, and yeah, it's been a bit showery, but press on, press on. No matter where we go, no matter where it ends, as long as I've got you, I'm not letting it fade. That was way harder than it needed to be. My gardening shears are completely blunted, so I'll need to get those sharpened for the new season. So I resorted to the gardening edging shears, wherever they are, and it's kind of got the job done, you know, that way where you start and you just think, I just want to see this through now. But yeah, I think the light and the weather is probably going to beat me. I'll crack on, see what else I can get done, but I'm trying to gather it in before it all blows all over the place. Waiting on the day
got nothing to say when there's no one to blame. I'm not letting it fade, so don't go looking for reasons, asking for change. We got good things coming. Put your faith in me, so keep on going. We got good things coming our way.
You know, I started in on this this other fern back here, but I think I'm actually going to leave it just now, because here in Scotland we get our garden waste picked up by the council every 2 weeks. The bin that has to go in, the wheelie, is almost full, and I've still got round the front of the house the remains of the kind of Christmas decor that I had, the stems and things that I had in the planters either side of the door, and I really want to tidy those up and get rid of these and leave space for those. And in this high wind just now, I don't want stuff cut and then just kind of blowing around the garden. So I think I'm going to leave that until I've got space to get rid of it. And you know, it might feel a bit brutal getting these ferns cut back as harshly as I have. I just know from experience that ferns love our garden. They love the soil. They come back prolifically year after year after year, and to keep them in check, to keep the size in check, I always just scalp them, because I prefer the fresh growth as well. I like that lush new growth that you get every year, rather than the stuff from previous years that can get a bit bent and a bit out of shape. So they will absolutely bounce back come the spring again. But I'm not an expert. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do or the best time to cut back your ferns. You know, you'll know what's right in your area. Talk to other people. What do your neighbours do? That's the best way to find out what works in your area.
When lights go out, you're in my mind. I close my eyes, so it's just you and I tell myself you'll be back again. When the stars are aligned, we will dance in the meadow on our favorite place. When spring is coming,
I said at the start I was looking for signs of spring, and this grows round the side of our garage, and I just noticed, look at the buds on this, all the way up. And so it's just ready to burst into life. Awesome. So I got these planters kind of tidied up, which was great. This one on the right keeps catching the wind and ending up over. Now there were bulbs in these, there were daffodil bulbs in them, but I'm just not sure if they're going to come up this year, because that one has had the earth turned around so many times falling over. The bulbs will be upside down, and I just don't think they're going to come up. This one maybe, we'll just have to wait and see. Now I do have these window planters. These have got absolutely nothing in them just now. They've got liners that switch out, which is great. So you can get a second set of liners and just lift the whole liner out. So what I do is I have the second set of liners. This has all the bulbs in it, and as you can see, there's a lot of spring growth in there. So those bulbs just live in there all the time. Sometimes I top them up. I didn't get round to it this year, so the bulbs might be a bit sparse. But yeah, it means that I can put summer planting in these ones without disturbing the bulbs in the bottom, because they're not really very deep. So you would struggle to get summer planting and leave the bulbs in the bottom. So I just switch them over. So not for today, but another job that needs done is to swap them over and get these in the window planters. Another sign of spring. We do have birds that nest up here. They were having a squabble about something earlier on, but you're just starting to hear them now, which is nice. So this area is looking a little bit tidier than it was. Cut back those grasses. Yeah, it's just looking a little bit better. I've got this all cut back, but we've got another broken pot here. So I'll need to get some pots ordered to replace those broken ones. So yeah, just got everything a little bit more cut back. Our walls always need cleaned up and repainted. Water runs off the patio down there, and you can see the algae. That's just a job that we have to do every spring. But yeah, just a little bit more cut back in this corner too. Taken away the broken plant and cut this fern back too. And then up here on the upper patio, it's looking a little bit tidier as well. And just kind of cleaned the patio. This whole patio area gets really green in the winter because we don't get any sunlight really in the garden at all in the winter. It stays in the shade the whole time. So that's just a job for spring. We have someone to come in and just clean all of the patio and the decking. So now I think I'm going to go inside and get myself a nice cup of coffee, the cosy warm.
And I tell myself you'll be back again. When the stars are aligned, we will dance in the meadow on our favorite place. When spring is coming, ooh.